What is Moms Demand Action and why did you get involved?
Hi, my name is Danielle Veillette, and I am the local group lead for the Orlando group for Moms Demand Action here in Orlando, Florida. Moms Demand Action was started after the Sandy Hook shooting by a woman named Shannon Watts, who was folding her laundry and saw the news of the shooting and thought she needed to do something. She just wanted to get herself out there and thought maybe there's something like Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And after doing some research, she found there was not a group. So she started one with her 50 Facebook friends. And now we have over 5 million volunteers in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. We work with lawmakers mostly. Our main objectives are policy related. And we were very integral to the elections. We did phone banking, texting, virtual literature drops, just very involved in all stages of the legislative process. And for me, I started and got involved in the group after the Parkland shooting because I have a son and I was tired of being afraid to send him to school. So I wanted to do something about that. So that's me.
How do you hope the U.S. changes in regards to gun reform in the next 4 years? What do citizens need to make this happen?
So, Moms Demand Action works with legislation on both a local and federal level. At the federal level, our number one priority is background check legislation, which was passed by the House of Representatives hundreds of days ago and has been waiting for a vote in the Senate by Mitch McConnell for a very long time, unfortunately. But on the local level, we are also trying to pass background check laws tailored to each state. So, for example, in Florida, there's a loophole where background check is not needed for online gun sales. So we are pushing our legislators to close loopholes like that on local level. In addition to address domestic violence and also mass shootings or suicide, we're pushing for red flag laws. So a sheriff or a family member, depending on the law in which state you're in, can have weapons confiscated from somebody who poses a threat to themselves or others, and then follow up with an investigation. So really trying to strengthen those laws and make them stronger so that we can save lives.
What are the things that schools can do to prevent gun violence? Are there examples of school-based approaches that have had a positive impact on the issue?
On the school level, that really depends on the district. Here in Florida, there is the guardian law. So every school has to have either a school resource officer or somebody who is trained in the guardian program to have a weapon on site. We don't like this law. The positive part of it and what Orange County, Osceola, and Seminole County have agreed to is that they will only have student resource officers at schools and not like teachers or gym teachers or anything like that, other staff who would have weapons at school. There's really no evidence out there for this. There's no evidence out there for really any school safety per se. It's really more on the legislative level of keeping weapons out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them. I'm a big believer. I don't think schools should be like prisons. I don't feel like you should have to walk through a metal detector to get to school. And I don't feel like, you should feel like you're in a lockdown in your own school. So preventing that from happening in the first place is really our focus.
From our experiences from the tragic mass shootings that have happened, especially in schools, what do we know about the reasons why people choose to commit a mass shooting?
I am not a therapist. I don't pretend to be one. The truth is, we don't really know what causes people to do this beyond, some sort of mental health struggle that they're going through. So a lot of the conversation around gun violence will talk about how guns don't kill people and people kill people and how it's mental health issues. So what's frustrating is those same people don't want to increase mental health support in schools or other places either. So that's kind of a struggle that we go through. There's no evidence out there right now for that. for why and what we can do to stop it on that end. And I think before we get into the psychological piece of it, we just need to focus on, ensuring that access isn't there.
Many households in America do have guns. How can families play a role in preventing gun violence while exercising their right to own them?
So, Moms Demand Action is a pro Second Amendment group, contrary to what lots of people on the opposing side would say. My husband's a gun owner, so definitely absolutely fine with people owning weapons. Responsibility is the key, and we are big believers in moms as well, that the parents are responsible, that children should never be responsible for what to do if they find a weapon. It's on the onus is on the parent to keep it locked, keep ammo separately, make sure that things are in a place where kids can't find them, or even teenagers shouldn't be able to access them without the parent being there. So that's one of our programs we have actually called Be Smart, and it's basically a program encouraging safe gun safety and different steps you can take to keep things locked up. So really that onus should be on the adult and the gun owner. Although, I've taught my child to, if you see a gun, you don't touch it, you walk away, you tell somebody. But ideally, you don't want to be in that situation. One of the Be Smart tenets is to ask. The A is for ask. So you ask people, before you have a play date or you send your child to school, or not to school, sorry, to a friend's house, you ask them, do you have a weapon? And if you do, is it locked? And all of these things. And it really can open up conversations. If your kid has a peanut allergy, you would have no problem saying, hey, there's a peanut allergy, can you make sure you don't feed him peanut butter? But we don't do that for guns, and we really should. And that's been a really successful program to kind of open up those conversations and get people talking and, get people thinking to make sure that those are locked and away from people's eyes.
Hashtag Enough gives a spotlight to young people to speak up for what they believe in through theater. What are some more ways that young people can become active in the conversation around gun reform?
I think children and teenagers who are, coming up and going to start being more active in society and start living on their own, and coming into voting age and everything, it's so, so, so important that you are using your voices. And, as a mama, I'm just so proud, of all the kids, and I keep saying kids, but teenagers, kids of all ages, just really speaking up and saying, like, I've grown up like this and I don't like it. And it's not, how I want society to be. And it's just so encouraging for all of us to know that, you're following in our footsteps and you're really leading the way in a lot of ways. The Parkland Students in the March for Our Lives, students really did such a good job of speaking up and then actioning it. It's just really inspirational for me. And so I think just keep talking, keep speaking up, meet with your adult legislators, send them emails, they work for you. So, if you can't vote yet, that's okay. When you can, please do. But until then, just being an active member of your society and talking about it is so important, and letting us know that you're not going anywhere. And, this is the vision for the future that you're creating for yourself. And I'm just really proud of everyone. And I love that you're doing this. Thank you so much.